Hi everyone, back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the January transfer window, what's happened so far, which deals do I think are good, which ones am I a little bit confused about, and general thoughts. As always guys, please leave your views in the comments, would love to hear from you. I'm continuing with the soft spoken today rather than whispering. Again, let me know what you think. So yeah, I'm also enjoying today a nice, well, I say non-alcoholic. It's 0.5%, but it is basically non-alcoholic, isn't it? You can't metabolize the alcohol content to actually get drunk. You know, you just burn it off quicker than you could. You could never get drunk off even like 10 of these. So yeah. But yeah, if anybody else is sober or you know, just even doing dry January for a bit longer, would highly recommend this if you can get your hands on it. Really good one. Doesn't have that kind of like weird non-alcoholic aftertaste. So yeah, big thumbs up from me. Okay, let's dive straight into it. So Antonin Kinski, 12.5 million from Slavia Prague to Tottenham. That's pounds, by the way. I'll be giving it in pounds for all the transfer fees. Yeah, looks good, I think. You know, looks really good. Obviously, their hand has been forced due to the injury that they've had, but yeah, I think he looks really good. And what I like about him is he seems quite expressive. You know, it seems like he shows his emotions quite a lot on the pitch, and you can just tell he's absolutely buzzing to be there. And I love that for him. You know, I just think that's absolutely great. And he in particular looks a very good shot stopper. So you know, big opportunity for him. At the minute, he's trying to grab it with both hands. Fair play to him. You know, he's not looked perfect. He's made the odd mistake, but I think he looks good. I think he looks good. Good find. Good find. I mean, I've never heard of him. 12.5 mil. You know, it's not a big risk, is it? So good on him. Next one, Daniel Marlin, 20 million from Dortmund to Villa. This one surprised me. I was a little bit puzzled, I suppose, when I heard this, but then as the window's gone on, we've heard, or not, I don't think we've heard directly from Emery, but I believe there's been talk that Emery has sort of said that he wants versatility in his attacking players that can play across the line. And Marlon can play on the left, right, or as a central striker. So, you know, that it makes sense from that perspective. I don't rate him that highly, to be honest. I don't rate him that highly. But, having said that, they have also got rid of Jadon Philogene for the exact same fee, 20 million, to Ipswich this window. So they've brought in Marlon as kind of net zero, and they've made a bit of profit on Philogene from the fee that they paid for him. So from a PSR perspective, I imagine that ends up being a bit of a net profit for them, and it's probably good money, I suppose, good from a financial perspective for them. So it's again low risk. Do I think Marlon is better than Philogene at this point? Probably, yeah, I'd say so. So fair enough. I don't think they're setting the world alight with that one there. And then of course we've got Jadon Philogene, as I've just mentioned. Ipswich have now spent 125 million this season. You know, obviously they are in a relegation battle, and they have been, you know, getting just out of the relegation zone and then dropping back in. So I get it from that perspective, and they have got injuries. Wes Burns, other players are injured as well. But it's a strange one. It is a strange one for me that they've spent this much money. They look like they probably will go down, and 125 million outlay is a lot to carry for a drop down. You know, I really worry for them that they could go down the same sort of route as Leicester, who I don't think Leicester are far from serious problems. I mean, they're already in serious problems, Leicester, but I think even more serious problems, such as administration and things of that nature. Now, that might sound a bit of an exaggeration to some people, but their wage to turnover ratio is something like 116%. They're spending more on wages than they actually are making money, and they're in threat of all kinds of sanctions. Yeah, not good. And 125 mil is a lot to spend for a club like Ipswich. So not a big fan of that one. Trevor Chalobah, loan termination from Palace back to Chelsea. Bit of a stretch. On one hand, it's kind of admitting from Chelsea's perspective that they fundamentally got it wrong, isn't it? On the other hand, it's good to be able to hold your hands up, I suppose, and be able to admit that. I think Chelsea fans are really happy. From the Chelsea fans that I know and have spoken to. But yeah, I think it's just a great snapshot of what a weird club they are, Chelsea, under Bowley, and their kind of recruitment model and everything is just crazy. But yeah, the carousel continues for Chelsea. Strange one. Then we've got Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, 59 million, Napoli to PSG. Now, I love Kvaratskhelia. I think, obviously we saw him in the Euros. He lit it up for Georgia. Title-winning season for Napoli. Gained the nickname Varadona. Amazing. He's one of my favourite players in Europe. I think he's so exciting to watch. He kind of reminds me of Pavel Nedved in some ways. For all you old heads out there who are as old as me. Yeah, 59 mil to PSG. They've already got Bradley Barcola, who is in the absolute form of his life, ripping it up, who plays the exact same position. They've also got Desiree Doué, who plays the exact same position, and they've got Dembele on the right. How do you fit them all in? How do you fit them all in? PSG have been such a basket case club for 10, 15 years now, and they've been so overly reliant on stars, and at the expense of a functioning team. We had it with Zlatan, we had it then of course with Neymar, and then you get Messi into the fold, and we go, and this season you go, God, they actually look like a team now. They finally look like a team for the first time since I've seen them. There's balance there. You're completely overloading it again. What is this? Is this a formation change? Some people are gonna have their noses out of joint here significantly. I think you can't start all these players. So PSG making the same old mistakes. That's how I would read that one. We'll see. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong on this channel. But yeah, strange one for me. Strange one. And that leads us nicely on to an outgoing Xavi Simons, 42 million, PSG to Leipzig. I suppose in some ways this makes this stranger getting Kvaratskhelia. You already had a player in there who's slightly younger, who can play a slightly different position. If you play in a midfield three, Xavi Simons could slot into that. Yeah, but I suppose it's on the player as well. I guess he wanted to leave. he's Leipzig's best player. So that is absolutely fantastic business for Leipzig, particularly in lieu of the fact that they've got rid of Dani Olmo. Yeah, typical Red Bull clubs, just fantastic business. Yeah, really, really good Leipzig. A big fan of that one for them. Kyle Walker, loan move, Man City to Milan. I think everything that I've seen people say, I agree with. Obviously, Kyle Walker's been heavily reliant on his pace for a long time. He gets into trouble, but then his pace gets him out of that trouble. We've seen him pocket, the likes of Mbappe, famously, over the years in the Champions League, and he does that with his pace. He's lost a yard of pace now, and he's struggling big time. And he's done absolutely the right thing in not prolonging this decline. And I think getting out of the country is good for him. I guess, I don't want to comment on people's personal life so much, but I think getting out of the country will be good for him and his wife and his kids if they're going with him and stuff and they are staying together. I think I've commented on this channel before. I live pretty close to where Kyle Walker is from in Sheffield. I'm from Sheffield. Probably about a mile and a half from where he grew up. And at the bottom of my street, actually, right at the bottom of my road, there are 6 commercial units. They're commercial units on the bottom and flats above. By all accounts, well, definitely Kyle Walker owns these. He bought them about a year ago. By all accounts, this is a regular thing that he does. As an act of penance to Annie, he purchases businesses to say sorry for his infidelity. And apparently this is another one of those. So, yeah, very, very strange. Very, very strange lifestyle he chooses to lead. But I say I'm not going to judge and talk about someone's personal life. I've just done so for the last 30 seconds or so. So let's move on. Antony, loan deal, Man United to Real Betis, where apparently they're paying 84% of his wages and he's on just over 100 grand a week. So I'm very, very happy with that, as you can imagine. Very, very, very happy with that indeed. Yeah, wow. Hopefully he does all right and they want to sign him. We'll obviously make a enormous loss, but however we can get him out of the club suits me, and that's very good from a PSR perspective for us getting 85, 90 grand a week off the wage bill. So very, very happy with that. Emi Buendia, loan move, Villa to Leverkusen. Very interesting one, this. He's obviously had significant injury problems. We all remember absolutely tore it up in the Championship, didn't he? And Leverkusen are good at this. They took Nathan Teller from Southampton, if you all remember that one. I think initially on loan, bringing in players like Frimpong from Celtic. They've got a rich history of doing this, of turning players that you think, really? And it working out really, really well. And I can see this. I can see this being another one where this works out really, really well in Xabi Alonso's system. So good luck to him. I really hope it works out. And I think that's an interesting one. Jean Duran, 65 million. Aston Villa to Al Nassr with some add-ons as well. I mean, if you're Villa, yeah, good money, really good money. Huge profit, huge profit. John Duran, what a shame. What a shame to be going to the Saudi League at his age with the amount of clamour that there is for him. I can only assume he's thinking, I'm going to go for 1-2 years, make an absolute packet, and then leave. And then just carry on with my career and go to a big club in Europe. And if that's the case, I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, 65 mil. Good bit of business for Villa, that. Although you think they're in the Champions League. Him and Watkins have dovetailed really well, and he's got him a lot of goals, John Duran. A lot of goals. It's very, very good money, but it's a big risk that could derail their season. It really could. And then final one of ones that have actually happened so far. Hot off the press today. Patrick Dorgu, 25 million. Lecce to Man United. I'm really, really happy about this one. He looks very, very raw. I've talked about this in a previous video. He looks very, very raw, particularly defensively in one-on-one situations. I think there's going to be some hairy moments. I think he's maybe going to give away some penalties. I hope we manage him. It's a lot to bring in a 20-year-old. I hope we don't ruin him with the pressure and all that. But I am excited to have got a player in at left wing back. That's really good. Really, really good. And you know what's next? What's next? There's talk. I think it was in the Athletic actually, which I do trust. They're actually one of the more responsible bits of football journalism out there. That we're also working on a deal for Giovanni Quenda for the summer for basically the same sort of money, around 25-30 million. He's just about to turn 18. This is the kid that Amorim turned into a right wing back at Sporting. So he's played with Amorim for the last year. He was playing him at 17 years old. He trusts him a lot. Left-footed. Played for as a right wing back in Amorim's system. So I suppose think about Ahmad when Ahmad plays a right wing back. He is better defensively than Ahmad. He is much quicker. He is rapid. He's an athlete, which obviously that will suit the wing back position, which is why he really did suit it for Sporting and did really, really well there. He's very, very good in the final third. Really good in the final third. Not sure how good he is defensively, but better than Ahmad. So, you know, already we may have sewn up there the kind of two problem positions to a degree. Dorgu on the left and Quenda on the right, which is exciting for not a lot of money. But they are both very, very young. So we will have to see. I think after that there's not a lot to do at Man United. I really don't think there is. I think another centre midfielder we definitely need. I want somebody that's a bit of a hybrid between Bruno and Ugarte. So somebody who's got that defensive nous and legs and energy of Ugarte, but who's more progressive on the ball than Ugarte. That's the kind of pairing that Amorim likes. We have Ugarte. We don't have an ideal partner for Ugarte. But what we did do on Thursday, which I really liked, and I think you'll recall I mentioned this on a previous video, we put Cobby as one of the 10s. And that really worked out. Bruno deeper to progress the ball through the lines. Cobby up there. And I think that might save Cobby's Man United career actually in this system. I think that's something we need to continue with because Amorim has actually said after the game on Thursday that Cobby's been struggling with the defensive side of the game as one of his centre midfielders, which he has. He really, really has. So yeah, I think a centre midfielder and a striker. And I think that's all that we really need, to be honest. So yeah, good start. So potential deals that are still potentially out there to happen. By the way, before we move on to that, I've not commented on any of Man City's dealings because I spoke about that in a previous video. So feel free to go back and watch that. That was one of the ramble videos. So Marco Asensio loaned PSG to Villa. I get it from a Villa perspective, from a PSG perspective, because they have got, as I've pointed out already, an absolute ton of wingers. Do Villa need him? They've got Daniel Marlin already. They've got Morgan Rogers. They've got Leon Bailey, who is looking poor at the minute, I have to say. Got John McGinn, who sometimes plays out there. Yeah, seems a bit overkill to me. Does seem a bit overkill. Really not sure on that one. Marcus Rashford, who's having his medical today apparently. Loan move, Man United to Villa. By all accounts, according to Fabrizio Romano, who again is usually a pretty reliable guy, isn't he? They're covering 70% of his wages, which I think I worked out to be 227,500 grand a week, which would comfortably make him Villa's highest player, with a 40 million buy option. I'm waiting for the catch here. What's going on? I mean, yes, please. I'll bite your hand off for that. I'll bite your hand off for that. Holy cow! Unbelievable. We've had their pants down, haven't we? Surely. Now, I'm predicting they will not choose to exercise that 40 million buy option. But apparently Emery has specifically asked for him. He thinks that he can get the best out of him. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But Watkins did seemingly get injured yesterday, so they've just sold Jean Duran, and Watkins looks like he's injured. So, yeah, I think they must be pretty desperate. So, yeah, I'm very, very, very happy with that. Now, we actually put out a statement as a club last week saying that due to PSR constraints, we're probably going to have to put the ticket prices up again. With the money that we're saving from Rashford's wages, and also Anthony's wages, I'm not sure that we do now need to do that. And if Man United choose to go and get more players for Amorim and put up the ticket prices, that's a decision that they're making there, and I think that's really, really, really wrong. We don't need to sign anyone else. Rashford was dead wood. He's not even getting in the matchday squads. In his position, you already have Ahmad, Kobe, Garnacho, and Bruno. You've got and Ericsson has been now playing in there. That's 5. In the midfield positions, we've still got Casemiro at the club. We haven't got rid of him. We've got Ugarte. We've got Bruno can play in there. We've got Kobe we can play in there. We've got Ericsson that can play in there, and we've got Toby Collier who's now getting more minutes. Strikers, we've got Højlund and Xerxes. We don't need to sign anyone else. If they choose to go and get somebody else because we've got rid of Rashford and still put up ticket prices, that is another disgrace for Ineos, and I, as a Man United fan, won't be happy with that. That's really, really wrong. But that's where I leave things, guys. Let me know about any other deals that you're excited about in this window that I haven't mentioned. Let me know your thoughts on any of the deals that I've talked about, and let me have any feedback on the soft-spoken style, if you're a fan or not a fan. And I'll see you all soon.